Hi everyone and welcome. In this video we'll have a look at how to install Hyper-V on Windows 10 Pro and run a free virtual machine from Microsoft in it. Before we start, let's have a look at the requirements. You need the Pro, Enterprise or Education version of Windows, a CPU that supports virtualization and at least 4 GB of RAM. Okay, let's start. So the first thing we want to do is go under Turn Windows Features on or off, Control Panel. Then we look for Hyper-V. We select both options. And we click OK. This is now going to take a while to install. Let's skip forward. Once it's done, we need to restart Windows. We can now head to modern.ie and get a virtual image ready to be imported into Hyper-V. Modern.ie is a useful service created by Microsoft that allows web developers to test their website or web application with older versions of Internet Explorer. On the right hand side, click on Virtual Machines and then select the version of Windows you want. We'll go with a stable version of Windows 10, but it's interesting to notice that the preview version is also available. Also, if you don't have the Pro version of Windows, you can use VirtualBox instead of Hyper-V. I'll link a video in the description. As you can see, the file is pretty big, so it might take a while to download depending on your connection. Okay, so now I downloaded and uncompressed the virtual machine and it's ready to be imported in Hyper-V. I'm copying the folder path of the machine so that I won't have to browse to it later. Let's open the Hyper-V Manager. As you can see, we can now import the virtual machine. But since it's the first time we use Hyper-V, we also need to create a virtual switch to allow our PC's network to be shared with the machine. Please note that if you want to use the virtual machine to test some software that you don't trust, it's better not to have a virtual switch assigned to it so that, let's say, there's no bridge for the virus to cross. After clicking on Virtual Switch Manager, click Create Virtual Switch to create a new external one. You can then rename it, but I'm leaving it as it is for now. Next, we can select to which network the virtual machine will connect to. I'm selecting my cable connection, which means that I won't be able to connect to the internet from the virtual machine while using Wi-Fi. Of course, it's possible to create a second virtual switch to connect with your Wi-Fi interface. Let's confirm and wait for the changes to be applied. Okay, we can now import our virtual machine. I'm going with the default option here. Clicking Next will load the machine's configuration. And now we can select our new virtual switch. The import has completed, but before we start it, let's assign some more resources to our virtual machine by changing its settings. I'm adding a second core to the CPU and increasing the RAM. Hopefully this will make it run a bit faster. It's also possible to use dynamic memory if you're not sure how much RAM to assign. While it's starting, let's go back to the modern.ie website to find the password we need to log in. You can find it in the download page under the before installing notes. Now that we are in Windows, let's check what comes pre-installed with it by opening the control panel. Not much, as you can see, but I'm also going to uninstall OpenSSH for Windows, as I'm not sure what it's there for. I'd also like to show you some differences between using the enhanced session and not using it. So, as you can see, in enhanced mode, you can freely resize the Hyper-V window, and the resolution will scale and adapt automatically. Also, the clipboard will be shared between your Windows and the virtual machine. This includes copying and pasting files, which is really handy. If we disable the enhanced session, we'll be able to select a specific screen resolution, but it won't be possible anymore to resize the Hyper-V window. So that's it. I hope you found this video useful, and see you next time.